Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Another tragedy in the headlines. This time it's Richard Parsons, the former Time Warner CEO, Citigroup chairman, ex-member of the federal government with Gerald Ford. In fact, he was a member of the federal government in 1976 when the feds recognized Black History Month for the first time ever on February 10th, again in 1976. We've talked many times before about how Obama would announce his candidacy for president 31 years to the day of that anniversary on February 10th, 2007. Obama, who recently put out that movie, Leave the World Behind, with 76s all over the place. Then you might recall that 76 days after it premiered on Netflix, there were cell phone outages all over the nation, and the news media was literally comparing it to the Obama movie. Time, Warner, 76. Remember, 76 is important to Black history because of the Bible. And Obama paid tribute to this in all kinds of ways in his movie Leave the World Behind. Most people didn't catch any of the clues. Again, in Acts 7:6, there's the verse about 400 years of slavery. And August of 2019 marked 400 years of slavery in America. And remember, the first slave ship to arrive in America was the White Lion in 1619. And in Obama's movie, Leave the World Behind, you have the White Lion oil tanker carrying black gold crash onto the shores of an American beach. And then you have the only radio signal where they can communicate 1619. And again, you have the 76s all over the film. What adds to the 76 is Gematria. Again, in Gematria, the practice of going numbers into words, slave equals 76. So does Negro. So does Rasta. So does Blues. So does Barack Obama. So does Obama's book titled A Promised Land, which he released on the day leaving 44 days left in the year, like he was number 44, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act, like how Acts 7:6, Acts is the 44th book of the Bible, etc., etc. Of course, the most famous leader of the Civil Rights Movement was killed on 4/4. But Richard Parsons, a black man, former member of the federal government, again in the time of Black History Month being created, just happens to die at 76. And for some other familiar patterns, notice, Richard Parsons was born on April 4th. He was born on 4/4. The day that he turned 20 was the day of the MLK assassination. Remember, the word time has gematria of 20, like death. And if you're new here, gematria, there's 4 base ciphers of the English language: the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, and both orders with numerology. If you don't apply numerology, T is the 20th letter of the alphabet. The first letter in time. Time with the alphabetic order and numerology equates to 20. That's because the numerology of T, 20, is 2 plus 0 is 2. So T's worth 2 with numerology. I is the 9th letter. M the 13th becomes 1 plus 3 is 4. E is the 5th letter. So you have 2 plus 9 plus 4 plus 5, which is 20. But a T is also a cross, and the cross has been used as a symbol of time in the 4 seasons for longer than, say, Christianity's been around. Again, the Christians adopted the cross, which traditionally is a symbol of the 4 seasons, time, like time is a 4-letter word. And by the way, with regards to time, here in this year, 2024, remember we saw Apollo Creed die at 76 at the start of the year. Then we saw O.J. Simpson die at 76. We've seen this many other times too, but some of the more notable deaths just in this year of black men at 76. Richard Parsons capping it off at the end of the year. Anyhow, coming back to this, he was born April 4th and he died December 26th, per the reports. That means he died exactly 38 weeks after his birthday, which is also 266 days. Exactly 38 on the nose. Again, if you're new here, death, murder, killing, RIP, they all equate to 38. The 266 days matters because the Jesuit motto, Isus hominum salvator, equates to 266. We're in the time of the first Jesuit pope, the 266th, And again, who gave us the calendar that says that Richard Parsons died in the year 2024 on December 26th? The Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius is responsible for the calendar. It was made in tribute to the Pope, Pope Gregorius, thus the Gregorian calendar. And if you look into the English language, you'll find out the oldest script also goes back to the church. So, slave, Negro, Rasta, blues. Again, all 76 matching his age of death. It's a reminder that Abe Lincoln said the greatest purveyors of slavery in America were the Jesuits. He blamed the American Civil War on the Jesuits. There's a lot more that can be said about all these things. I should have wrote it up there. Barack Obama, 76. Again, like I said, his book, A Promised Land, 76. That's a play on Abraham, a word that also equates to 44. So this man born on 4-4, dead at 76. Same number of patterns over and over. I think I forgot to mention that Richard Parsons equates to 163, which is the 38th prime number. And again, dead exactly 38 weeks after his birthday. Dead the day after Christmas. Christmas has the Gematria 38 as well, just like how on Christmas, Trump said 38,000 people died building the Panama Canal, and you got the plane crash story where they said 38 dead. I suppose a few more points. Time Warner has the same Gematria as Jesuit Order. That's the Society of Jesus. And his full name, Richard Dean Parsons, equates to 187, like Society of Jesus, like Rockefeller. He came up with the Rockefeller family, Nelson Rockefellers, who brought him into the federal government. Unconquered Sun also equals 187. That's what Sol Invictus is, which is what the Catholic churches celebrate on 12/25 for longer than Christmas. Originally, the Catholic Church began by sun worshiping, and then they incorporated the Jesus worship, the Son of God, to further their brand. But yeah, this guy, through his name and his legacy, he has all the numbers that make him a fitting candidate, for this type of death, sadly, because this stuff goes on every year. Time Warner, for example, again, equates to 54 and 144. Remember, Sun, S-U-N, equates to 54. Jesuit Order 54, their logo is the sun. 144 has a square root of 12. Here we are in the 12th month. Again, the 187 with the Unconquered Sun and Society of Jesus. The Superior General, for the record, the leader of the Jesuits, Arturo Sosa, he just turned 76 on November 12th. That means that Richard Parsons actually died 44 days after the Superior General's birthday for another 44-76 combination, getting born on 4-4. And you know what's sad to think is, it might even end up being Obama someday. You might get the whole headline about Obama at age 76. They put 76 all over that man's legacy, including the first movie they put out with Obama about the fall of America. What a movie to be attached to the president. If you haven't seen Leave the World Behind, you should check it out. Leave the World Behind in Gematria equates to 192. They put that out right as Skull and Bones began its 192nd year of existence. Powerful secret society that puts people in the Oval Office. Also related to the church. They get their symbolism from the Templars and the Templar cross in the middle of the Jesuit Order's logo. But again, Leave the World Behind equals 192. And what do they show you right at the end of that movie? They show you Commodus, who died in the year 192. And Commodus marks the fall of Rome. Again, Commodus is the emperor from the first Gladiator movie that Russell Crowe fights him, played by Joaquin Phoenix. And just like then, people still now too distracted with the entertainment in the Colosseum to see what's happening right in front of their face. And for the panel of goofies yesterday that were making fun of the work on 38 and death, you notice this headline broke later that same day, just another example. And just that same panel, just a couple days before Christmas, I told them about how Christmas and death have the same Gematria 38, and how every year there's rituals just like this. Some people, You tell them in advance, they watch it play out, and it still means nothing to them. And sadly, that's the way the majority of this world is. God, you know what else? I got to point out, this guy went to the University of Hawaii. Does that remind you of Obama? But yeah, that's the problem with this world, you guys. Just people and their cognitive dissonance and their egos, and they can't admit that they've been lied to. And people don't want to admit that there is an Illuminati. Again, the Illuminati was founded in the time of the Jesuit suppression by a Jesuit, Adam Weishaupt, in the year 1776. Yeah, they're only going to be stopped if people wake up. And you can tell they're plotting the next scandemic at this very moment, too. We're going to talk about that in the next live stream. So anyway, R.I.P. Richard Parsons. And until next time, Truth Seeker.